Hello, Mary. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. How are you today? Oh, and paranormal investigator. See, I'm forgetting my new title. So we're going to talk to Granny Janet today. Let's see what Granny's got to say. Don't know that I've read for you before I do so many. I'm not sure. So I just like to my little disclaimer. This is not an exact science. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. I have a lot of the senses, but they talk to me, but they also show me pictures. So the pictures I have to describe, I call it spiritual charades, and I describe it the way I see it and feel it. So they never waste a message. So no matter what they show, don't throw the reading out if something doesn't make sense at the time, because you'll either remember it later, you'll see it later, or somebody else will go validate it for you. They'll go, oh, I know what she was talking about. It happens almost every reading. So I stink at names. The more I say it, probably the worse I get. But they keep throwing names at me anyway. So if I say she mentions a John, it'll be at least a male with a J or a J-O name. It's just the way we communicate. Like I said, it's not an exact science. It's not perfect, but they do the best they can, and it's their show. I allow them to say whatever it is they feel they need to say or show. They tell us what we need to hear, not always what we want to hear. So let's see what Granny's got to say. And she's already sitting there. She's in a recliner, and she's eating something out of a bowl. And sometimes it looks like popcorn. Sometimes it looks like little pieces of candy, but I can't tell what kind. So she's showing two different things. So during the reading, I don't spend the whole reading about validating who she is. She'll give me at least two or three things, so you know absolutely for sure that it's her. And let's see where she's going. Trying to see what she's showing me. She's a little dim. She hasn't quite come through well enough. It's weird, and I don't need to know what they're showing. I'm just the vessel that they talk through. So they just tell me enough so you know what they're talking about. But she's showing sitting in this chair, and it's not like I see cigarette smoke like I usually do. What I see is this cloud over the top of her head, but it's not like, oh, who was that cartoon character that walked around that always had the cloud over his head? It's kind of like that, but it's not quite. But it's white. It's like this flat little cloud up above her head. I don't know what she's trying to this is where we get in the charades. I don't know what she's trying to show with that. There's a reason for it. See if she's going to say anything about it. Let me ask her something. She says you'll know. So that's all we need, just so you'll know. She says she loves you, that you always had a sparkle in your eye. And she says you still do, but you toned it down. You've let the world kind of hide the sparkle in your eye, and she wants you to let it back out. She says, let your freak fly. I love it, Granny. Let your freak flag fly. Oops, there's a tongue twister. Now she's holding up an apple. And then I feel like she wants to put caramel on it, make a caramel apple. So this is something significant. and she's going to take a bite of it and her false teeth come out. I don't know if that's a memory, that's something that happened when she was alive, when she was here. She's still alive. She can hear you. That's something I stress to every single person I talk to. They can hear you. I promise you, they can hear you. Now she's wanting to put caramel on the popcorn too. Caramel corn, caramel apples. Unless she's, I don't know if she's getting, because it's that time of year, Halloween time, where we start doing all that more than seems like any other time of year. There's a reason for it. Okay, now she picks up, okay, I want to say bedspread at first, but it looks more like a quilt. And she shook it, like she's taking it off the bed and shaking it. And then she holds it up. There's something significant about this quilt. Did she make quilts? Do you have one of her quilts? I feel like she's showing this for some kind of validation that it's her. Something special about this quilt, and I really can't see the design of it other than I see, of course, it's got blocks in it. That's what most of them have. But she's not showing me any specific picture on it. Hey, Granny comes over here. She's right in here, and she's looking at the screen, and she goes, "Can she see me? Is she really going to be able to see me?" No, I don't think she's going to see you. But, and she's fixing her hair. She's fixing her hair. She wants to look pretty for you. So right in here, you never know. You can look at the video. I'll move my hand. And, or maybe pause the video. Maybe you will see something. Never know. She's even spraying on what she calls toilet water, which was our cologne way back in the day. They called it toilet water. Why? I don't know. It's not a good term for something that smells pretty. She's spraying it on. She's fixing her hair. She wants to look pretty for you. I can feel, I wish I could describe the love that I feel from them for the person I'm reading for. She loves you very much. She says she was a little scatterbrained. A little, maybe scatterbrained isn't the right word we want to use. She was kind of like, happy-go-lucky isn't the word I want to use either. I don't know what word it is. She's not telling me which word I need to use. She was kind of like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about doing my dishes. I don't care. It's no big deal. I don't care. I'm not going to stress over it. It's no big deal. She says you have a son, and she says you need to have this attitude about him and what's going on. She says he's okay, and she goes like this, but I'm not sure what she means by this. I've seen him do this before, but it always means something different. She says it'll all come out in the wash. It will all come out in the wash. She said he's safe. He's fine. She says, you're worrying so much you're getting that big knot in your stomach and it's making you sick. She said, you need to back up a little bit. That he's going to get life lessons from this situation. There's things he's going to learn that are going to work out to his benefit in his life later on. She says the things we learn from the most, best, are the hard lessons, the ones that hurt. She says he will be okay. He seems to be a little confused. She says that's okay, he'll figure it out. We can't do it all. She says worrying won't fix it. Oops, she got quiet. Okay. She's saying sometimes you're going to have to zip your lip. You know, she's not saying exactly what's going on, and it's none of my business or anybody else's. She just says sometimes you got to zip your lip. There's some things it won't do any good to say anything. She says it'll make it worse. Excuse me. She said, I can't hear you. She says you're letting it interfere with everything in your life, and it's just making everything worse, everything worse. And I don't know why, because she's not saying, but she's showing you you need to actually turn your back to the situation, which I don't know exactly what the situation is, but I have trouble turning my back. I think I need to have mine if it's my kids. She just says again, it'll be okay. It's going to be okay. She wants you to trust her. Let's see. I'm asking her something. Hang on. Yeah, crap. She's laying a deck of cards in front of me. Let me pause this and I'll pull a card. Sometimes they ask me to. Sometimes when it just doesn't come through, they'll have me pull a card. Okay, I let her tell me when to stop. So the card I got is surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So what she said was, this applies to your relationship with your son's dad. You need to surrender to the complete healing of that, and that will help fix the whole situation. Because she says there will be more calm and peace. And she's doing her hair again. She's primping her hair, but she says she loves your hair. She's got that toilet water out again, so you're going to smell that. You'll be in your car, in the store, outside, in your house. It doesn't matter where you're at when you smell this. Say, Granny, I know that's you. Thank you. Bring me more. I love you. Okay, here we go with the names. They keep throwing them at me. She mentions the name Harold. So it will be at least a male with an H or an HA name. She says, tell him hi. What? So even if he's up there, if he's not still here, even if he's up there, you need to tell him hi. Tell him hi. Now she's making it very clear that she's with her dad. And then she says her mom, but her mom's like her energy is really faint, but the dad is the important one. Her mom's energy is kind of, yes, her mom. She said, yes, my mom. Aunt June. Here we go again with names. So it's at least a female with a J or JU name, but it's an aunt. Don't know if it's her aunt or your aunt. I get this a lot, and I keep hearing singing the song. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. She wants you to sing that, and she wants to sing it until you're actually happy. She says, she wants you to get on YouTube or whatever. She wants you to play it on your computer or your phone or something and actually do it until you start smiling and think of her. And you're probably going to hear this song, or you might hear somebody saying, if you're happy and you know it, as you're walking through a store or something. That's going to be another sign from her. You might see it flash on the TV, radio. Doesn't matter. I can imagine hearing it on the radio, but it doesn't matter where it pops up. Could be on a billboard. It might say something like that. She says you're hungry, but your stomach is churning and in knots. She says that's your nerves. She says you need to eat differently to calm your stomach down, but you also need to, she's going back to this card. She's going back to this. You need to help heal that situation in yourself. You can't heal, you can't make them do anything different. She says you need to heal it. You need to get right with it with yourself. Like I said in the beginning, they tell us what we need to hear, maybe not what we want to hear. So she says you'll look at it different. You can find a peaceful place for the situation. She's showing me yourself going outside, sitting on the front steps, front stoop. And it's almost like the energy in the house is pushing you to go outside and sit on the front stoop. It's almost like all the energy is just shoving you out there. She said you'll be able to think more clear if you go out there and sit and get away from the distractions and the energy in the house. And I don't know if this is anything special, but or is she just showing me you on the front steps? But like there's a tree out there, there's a sidewalk, there's a tree, and of course the street. Seems like there's several trees. So I'm not going to describe every detail in this little scene because that's what she's making prominent for some reason. She says you need to go out dancing and get happy feet. She's doing this again. I don't know what she means by this. I don't know what her interpretation of this is. Now she's showing me you need to put this wall between you and the boy's dad. You need to put, so if you could visualize a wall, actually visualize a wall and make it, you can make it steel, make it concrete, make it build a block wall, however you want to do it. You need to build that wall because it would literally keep his energy on the other side. And you know what? And it doesn't even matter if you're married to somebody. I've done it. If my husband's like really super angry, bitchy, carrying on, put that wall between us because it keeps his angry energy over there on the other side. It doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to him, doesn't mean I'm not going to interact with him. It just means that energy is going to stay over there. And she says you need to do that every time you interact with him. He seems to be angry. He seems he's grouchy, angry, something. Grr. Can't quite tell what she's showing me. She's still standing here, so you might just keep that in mind. Okay, now she's talking about cinnamon, and then she just said the word cinnamon. Sometimes they'll just throw words out, and then she said cinnamon bun. She didn't say cinnamon roll. She said cinnamon bun. So if you smell something that's got cinnamon in it, just out of the blue, just give her a little quick, I love you. I know you're here. She said towards the end that people thought she was really confused and probably didn't know exactly what was going on, but she did. She said her brain was very sharp, very sharp. She just couldn't get it from there to here like she wanted to. That she was seeing a beautiful angel right before she left. She had images of you guys when you were little bitty, which would be a scene, just little bitty kids out there playing, which would be a scene that you wouldn't remember because she's showing me you guys are really little running around. These were the things she was thinking of and smiling about and loving. And those are the things that she thought about right before she left. And you take those with you. You take that kind of love with you. She's showing she's showing that you need to shut and lock your front door. Not not that there's a danger coming, not this is not a warning because it doesn't feel threatening, but that there's somebody you need to stop allowing in your home. That you need to lock the door and it's a male. It's a male. She wants you to stop allowing this male into your home. There's he needs to turn around and leave. He you need to stop letting his energy inside your home. And she's showing as you're standing like you're standing at the door and you lock the door and you're peeking out a little window in the door. Even if you don't have a window in the door, it doesn't matter. Peeking out the peek hole doesn't matter. And you're watching him turn around and leave because he's not going to be allowed to get in that door. And she's wanting you to be happy about it. She said it's the best thing for you. Let it go. Now, I don't know who the male is. She says sometimes you hear singing or humming. And she's saying in your home. It could be other places too, but she's saying in your home, like when it's quiet, and you may not be hearing it with these ears. I tell people all the time, you have ears up here. It's like you hear beautiful singing every so often, or beautiful humming, and it's almost angelic. She said the next time you get that song stuck in your head, now she's not talking about the same angelic type music, but you know how you get a song stuck in your head, like you wake up in the morning and it just keeps playing over and over and over, and you can't get rid of it. That's because your guides or your angels or even your loved ones, there's something in that song. So when next time you get a song stuck in your head that keeps repeating, go Google the words for that song, and there'll be something in that song. Sometimes it's just the title, but there'll be some words in that song that will directly relate to you. And she says, oh, you may not admit it, but they will. Like I said, tell us what we need to hear. So she's mentioning cinnamon bun again. So watch for that smell. You might even be walking through the store and see one. I'm not exactly sure what a cinnamon bun is. For the bun, it's not a roll. It's different. Or at least what she's calling it. She says she loves you, and she's been standing here this whole time. Usually they'll flit around or come behind me or do whatever, but so you just might keep an eye on that spot. Anyway, she's ready to go. She says she's going to let you know she's around. Talk to her. Like I said, I promise you, she can hear you. So if you need help with a situation, ask her. She will put, if she can't do it, she will go get somebody who can up there. And they can open doors for you. They can put people in your path to help you. And it'd be just like things you never thought of that would happen, or people that you run into never thought. But ask. You have to ask. They cannot override your free will choice. You can keep doing shit and doing shit. Oops, sorry. Over and over and over. But ask them for help, but then you have to be ready to accept the help that gets put in front of you. It really works that way. Okay, she's leaving. So we're going to, she says, listen to me, listen to me. All right, she's twirling around. Yeah. Oh, she's trying to spin the energy. We are pure energy when we shed these physical heavy bodies. So she's trying to spin the energy for you to I don't want to say that, lift you, raise your vibration, give you a more loving, give you more of her loving energy to help lift you. She said she didn't have anything to say to anybody else. This reading is all about you, for you. Okay, she's leaving. Okay, much love to you. I hope her advice helps. Gotta love them because they can see it from that end and this end, and it looks different once you get up there. I mean, things don't mean the same as we take them so seriously down here. Once you get up there, you see the stuff's not quite that serious, or at least that's what they tell me. We make it that way. So much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, and paranormal investigator. See you later, my dear. Thank you for trusting me with your loved one.